Dun-dun. Welcome. It is Astrology and Alchemy with Sarah and Matt. I do know that there's going to be an advertisement playing, as there always is, on some of the programs that stream us. YouTube, a few others. I don't know how long those advertisements are. And what are they for today? Are
Oh, who
they
knows?
like poop
I've seen
spray,
I've seen poop. I've seen bras.
the
What was
Bigfoot
the other one?
soap?
What was the other one? Oh, there's a guy
Yeah.
that always pops up and says, "What's more valuable, your house or your laptop?" But I never
Oh,
hear what he says after that.
I've gotten a lot of I've been getting a lot of the darn kids with cancer crap.
Mm,
That, like, I wanna hear
that
that.
one always pops up too. It
Gah! I
makes me
tell the
sad.
universe too, where I'm like, "Don't play this crap." It doesn't listen. But hello, Mary, Ruth, John, Joe, Allen, Jingleheimer, Smith, and all you people joining us out there. Please share in the chat room who you are. Where are you? What are you doing? We missed you yesterday, and we're so excited that you're joining us tonight. You were on vacation, Matt. You went somewhere cool. Where were
I
you?
was I was back in Disney again, and this time I didn't get sick. Last time I didn't get COVID at Disney, but I developed COVID on the way home from Disney. Um,
You
last
know, if
time
you're
we go there pretty often. And then the time before I was there, we had our trailer broke down, or our camper broke down, and I spent 3 nights in a truck stop, and then got sick and thought I had COVID, but it wasn't. And
just truck stop blues.
so I'm all healthy.
Man, that's great.
But
It
you said
really
just like the
stinks.
cancer thing. I saw this. There was this girl in line. She was very very nice, and talked to her and stuff, and just reminded me of some other people I know and things, and it just made me sad because
Yeah,
she had issues, and so
that
I
was
hope she
there at
does well.
Disney.
Yeah, she was there, and then we were talking to her online.
Man, those are the kind of stories when, like, I struggle with it because I do daily check-ins with my dad who's struggling with his health. And those kinds of check-ins, I mean, somebody somewhere, and you and me and people we know and love are struggling with their health. And so just a moment of not having health issues, I'm often like grateful if I have a moment of just like, wow, okay, I'm here, I'm seated, like doing the podcast, having coffee. It could be a lot worse. And so, yeah.
It's a weird conflict I have because I have all this empathy and I get very sad over like people that like struggle and stuff. And then when there's like people that pick on people that are less fortunate or weaker, I don't respond with empathy. I want to like,
Kill them
yeah,
all.
I want to remove them from the universe. It's like, so I have this very weird,
Eradicate them
yeah, I have
all.
this very weird, like, I have all this like empathy for the struggling person. And then
Yeah.
the person that's picking on them that probably has their own issues, I want to just like annihilate them.
Yeah. It's
So
a good
I'm
spectrum.
working on trying to show empathy on both sides, but yeah.
Moderation, Matthew, moderation. But it is, it's a good spectrum of emotion, a full, whole spectrum of emotion. And that is what you want. Come on now. Welcome, Steph, field guy. Um, it's fruit fly season. If you see me partially losing my shit, it's because there's fruit flies. And my husband blames it on my plants. I partially blame it on the fresh fruit that I like to always have out. But we all know it's coming from the drains. And that's just a problem. That's going to drive me a little nuts, and I'll probably sound a little crazy. But anyway, you're here on Astrology and Alchemy,
Oh,
and it's time, right?
yeah.
You got your
We'll do a
paper
little
out?
plug here.
Oh, what's the plug?
I didn't know there was a rapper that was killed too. I said there was going to be a celebrity musician.
Oh, we
Ray the
talked a
Queen
lot
was.
about this. Yeah. Yep. Some of the stuff, well, and it goes to without saying. The Queen, the rapper PBJ, shot and killed. That yeah, I'm not, wasn't a huge fan. I don't know, maybe I was. Um, of the Queen or either the PB&J. We mention a lot of stuff here on the show. And for those of you joining us with your pad and paper, we do a lot of cool predictions. This is the time to build that intuition. Write it down.
I have
Don't
to
be
write
scared.
mine down because I'm going to write mine down. This is the first show. I'm going to write mine down because I never remember. And then all these people are messaging me. You said it, and I'm like, I don't remember what I said.
Yeah.
I do it all on the fly here.
Well, and that's kind of the whole like, well, if you were really psychic, you'd know the power numbers. And it's like, it doesn't usually, at least for most psychics that I know, and for my own intuition, it doesn't usually work that way. It's not for one's own self-interest. It's usually for the benefit of like validation of connection, of piecing pieces together to see the whole. And you don't it's a hindsight and foresight. It's not working in that way so much. I don't know, that's for myself mostly, but uh, doing this kind of work where we talk it out, we look at statistics, we look at the astrology, the math, the objective measurable things, and then just let the messages come, write them down, then go back and sort what you get, how you get it, and then you get the validation and confidence to speak more freely, and then it just kind of becomes a momentum.
And it's like this isn't like Nostradamus, like, things. It's like it really is looking at what the nudges are going to be. Like a wonderful sunny day with no wind versus a day with severe thunderstorms coming through, and you say, on this thunderstorm day, you may have a tree come down or you may lose your power. It's not it's looking at all the surrounding environments, all the energetic things that are going on, and kind of looking at that, saying it's more likely that this is going to happen than that.
Yeah, I think of it as statistics, which is ironic because I hated statistics. I swore off statistics. I really did. Never again will I ever in the rain, in the sun. And here we are, where that really is when someone says, like, how do you fine tune your intuition? Statistics, awareness, observation, things of that nature. Man, we've got birthday girl Samantha. Speaking of psychic, we got all kinds of cool people. But yeah, prediction is a part of just that awareness and validation, recognition, writing it down. So get your pieces of paper is what we mean to say when we say that. And let's get going. Today's Wednesday. We did share on our social media. If you do not already follow us, guys, what are you doing? Follow us on Astrology and Alchemy, Autumn Moon Astrology, Paranormal Sarah. I shared it on my Instagram. I'm pretty good about usually sharing it across the board. But today we had the moon in Taurus, conjunct Uranus and Taurus. We kind of shared a little bit about how important that is to desire. A lot of desired goods today, the highest good, pyramid, value work today. A lot of thinking and feeling today. But today's already over. Hump day has passed. So we have Thursday tomorrow, September 15th. Man, we're halfway through September. I can't believe that. And this is the only thing happening astrologically speaking, Matt. And that is a moon, a waning moon, entering into Gemini. What do we think when we feel Gemini energy?
So just recapping for anyone that might be new, the moon changes about every 2.5 days. So when we talk about just moon, particularly when it's the moon by itself, this is a very fleeting, just like 2 day thing. This isn't very strong, but moon's emotions, and Gemini is kind of the social butterfly. So I'd say there's some extroverted energy to emotionally maybe reach out to other people. And there's also this kind of either or. I like to use the analogy of kind of a fork in the road. Which way do you go? Piece. So I would expect in the next couple days people reaching out to try to make decisions, wanting to get people's feedback on things. So yeah, I'd look for that. I'd look for people reaching out to kind of pick people's brains on wanting to make decisions and just overall wanting to communicate. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, communication. It's an air, it's an extroverted sign, all about communication. So lots of talks. Now I'll add on this, even though it's not related on this aspect, that it is still Mercury retrograde, which means communications will be problematic. So keep in mind, there'll be this emotional pull to communicate, reach out, talk to people on decisions, with an increased likelihood that those communications are misinterpreted. So you may get advice with good intentions, but you may misunderstand the advice and make the wrong decision anyway. So
What was that you said?
so
This is fun because I think of like how pirates must have tried to communicate between each other. Of like, you're the Dread Pirate Roberts. It's like, actually I'm not. I'm the fourth Dread Pirates because he died. Um, I I get not only that, but like watching young toddlers play telephone or just how communication shifts and changes. Air magic, and this is by nature, even in the tarot deck, guys. Swords, spades, pointy things that you can die on. You know, ha ta ta ta. Her tongue, sharp as swords, silver like swords. Sharp as a bullet. Things flying through the air. And what I love with that, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's what is it? What is it? That retrograde vibe, that's going to be really fun. That's going to be, I hear Depeche Mode, reach out, touch faith. This is like that Gemini wants you to be looking both ways. Meanwhile, what's right in front of you? What is it? The feelings, the waning feelings. There's going to be some really interesting vibes going on tomorrow with who is the hero? How do you predict this panning out? Air, waning, feeling. Man, we're still going to have stuff with the
Uh,
queen.
yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything major alone with just the moon thing. But my advice to people is go with your gut. So it's still cool to go reach out and talk to other people on things, but just realize with the Mercury in retrograde thing, you'll probably screw up what they're trying to tell you anyway. So go
Right.
with what you feel inside is your best decision. Don't necessarily rely on the advice of others.
I'm
They're going to give
excited
it. They're
to.
going to give advice, but it's going to get missed. Like it'll be well intentioned, but it's going to get screwed up somewhere in translation. So
Lost in translation, kind of Chevy Chase, Monty Python, kind of just fun energy. I feel. But then I'm looking, of course, ahead because that's statistics, the prediction, probability, variables, and just panning out on our Kerplunket here. Friday, September 16th. Man, this is where things get weird and wild. Talk about weird. Okay, here we go.
I
Friday.
love when there's meaty stuff on Friday or Saturday because I just feel like
Ah,
picture like a fly on the wall on like a bar or something.
fudge. Fudge muffin. Okay. Is it raisins? Is it chocolate? Uh, we don't know. On Friday morning, the sun enters Virgo opposite Neptune in Pisces.
Ooh.
Ooh. Why do we do that? Why do we do ooh? I know that it's me and Neptune and
I
Pisces.
do, I do,
Why?
I do ooh for your benefit because I know
Good.
you really don't like Neptune and
Ooh.
Pisces.
I don't. It's a social services nightmare on a Friday.
Although I
On a
dread
Friday.
Neptune and Aries. I mean, we still have a while, but I dread Neptune and Aries more than Neptune and Pisces.
Well, I think Sun and Virgo, that's like nitpicking, right? It's everything the sun touches. Where am I, the king, father? Everything the sun touches. But what about over there? It's like that's Virgo. That's the effing sun and Virgo. You want to know where, who, what, when, where, why, and how, and where does stupid Simba Imba end up? Right over there. Right over there. And that's
Yep.
opposite Neptune and Pisces because you're thinking that you're the king everywhere and you just can't. That's just not how it works. And you're going to get eaten. How do you feel it's going to pan
Virgo's
out?
picky,
It is
but they're
picky.
conscientious. I'm getting message from. I'm getting work messages. Hopefully, this doesn't blow up here. Very odd at this late at night. Anyway, let me get back to my
Picky and
thing here. So
conscientious.
picky and conscientious, having a tension with. So opposite is tension. It's not conflict. With Neptune, which is deceptive, it's dreamy, it's foggy, it's not seeing what you're seeing isn't what is real. With Pisces, that is its home sign. That's very introspective. It's very artsy. It's very I would say kind of it's the last sign. So I would say kind of this deathbed perspective. My time here is done. What's for the greater good? So I see this tension between the details that you're seeing versus your ideal. So I view this as you're kind of viewing your ideal and viewing your goal and seeing where it's coming up short and providing some tension.
Mm.
This is perfectionist. This is the frustration of a perfectionist energy.
Frustration. When you say tension, I love, frustration is a form or can be of like a hot energy when you're looking at your emotional spectrum wheel. Anger, passion, desire, frustration kind of stemming from desire. When we say that we want our goal to be this and it's not, the frustration isn't from the not so much as the pressure behind what we want it to be.
Mhm.
So there's going to be some really interesting ritual work, I think, for those of us, doing our alchemy on tension, frustration, regulating that power, momentum, like all of the things with the variables in our life, to not rush it. I wrote down on the monthly meditation, take things slow today. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. And I'm trying to think of the music that comes to my mind. I mean, when I think don't rush it, there's some lyrics and songs, but I actually think of like Rush and like Tom Sawyer
Mm.
and kind of that slow entry kind of vibe. The old Tom Sawyer. I don't know. Do I think Rush? Yeah, I'm gonna put Tom Sawyer there. Maybe that's a spirit guide. One more thing is happening on Friday night that's gonna throw a little salt on the fire.
I want to add before you say that. I think the big thing there's going to be some kind of economic event
God, don't
on
say that.
Friday that people are going to be just picking apart. That it could be a social event, but I'm thinking it's going to be economic. That people are going to be just freaking out over. The whole country sucks. Everything sucks. People screwed everything. It's going to be that picky energy. People are going to be very hypercritical on Friday about all kinds of stuff.
Mm,
So I would say
mm,
state of society in general, but I have a feeling it's going to be an economic thing that kicks it off.
mm.
Yeah, it could be the Steph saying the railroad. It could be the railroad thing. I have a feeling it might be another. Just my gut feel. Don't trade on this or anything. I have a feeling it might be another bad stock day on Friday.
We've had some really bad stock days too. And I think that speaks largely to the retrograde space. People are hesitant. People are hesitant. Um, Nurses strikes. There's all sorts of little things that may play out. I would okay, let's think on that. For those of you in the chat, let us know. Because let's add to that. Don't forget, this one more thing is happening Friday night. Maybe that reflection of the bell ringing at 4 o'clock. What'll happen Friday evening is that Venus, baby, Venus and Virgo. So now you've got the Venus and the Sun. But Venus and Virgo squaring off with Mars in Gemini.
Hmm. So
And
this just
anytime I
kind of
see Mars
reinforces
moving,
it. Just kind of
yeah.
reinforces it because Venus can be money or it can be romance. So this could be a money thing. Square actually is in the conflict. So you have this, either money or romance being, and it can be both. Again, being very picky, very detail oriented, but very conscientious. In conflict with Mars, which is action in this Gemini extroverted space. So it's funny, as much as I say for finance, I'm immediately going here on relationships. This is the kind of energy of that Mars and the extroverted air talking. This is somebody at a party just talking to people, talking to friends, and the Venus partner in Virgo is going to totally pick apart the body language and the words used and the things, and you get in a big argument of you were flirting with that person. They're
Mm,
interested. That kind of energy. Because you have this extroverted action coming into conflict with checking off all the boxes and analyzing every little detail. And generally,
mm.
Gemini, it's just that it's there's not necessarily seriousness in a lot of Gemini energy. It's just kind of out there having fun, floating around.
Right. When I think of Gemini, I think of somebody kind of, going to take everybody's order for the party. What do you want? Okay, what do you want? Okay, and it's not that you're just only going to be getting Sprite. Hold on. It's the Gemini is thinking about everybody and getting everybody's information before going and before buying. And they'll make the decision when they're there with the money, like, oh, okay, well, everybody, like, we wanted this and not that. And that's a really interesting thing that you share with the jealousy and kind of that relationship frequency, because that typically is for Venus. You see that in investment, you see that in attraction. I think of, attraction and how that speaks to the sexual frequency as well as the money, because you're manifesting. Venus is art and beauty and that kind of stuff in Virgo. Oh, yeah. I would say the neurolinguistics here is going to be jealousy versus envy. If you're jealous, you will take it from someone. And that's a wrong energy in essence of what it is your intentions might be. Whereas if you're envious, you want to join and share and also have, but not, at the extent of taking it. So subtle, similar, but one is taking and one is not. So that'll be really interesting. The chat room is full of all sorts of entomology, not just etymology, and an etymologist would know the difference. And moths. I'm wondering if they're talking about the lantern bug as in the lantern moth.
Spotted lanternflies, and
Okay, if that's the moth.
Eastern PA. They're from China. Eastern PA is where they originally popped up, and they're spreading. Actually, kind of near my hometown was almost like ground zero where they first came in. And they've tried to quarantine them really well, but they're still spreading. And we just started to see them around here. And Rebel, I don't know where Rebel is in North Carolina. They're just starting to see. I'm in the Winston area. We're just starting to get warnings about them. I have yet to see one, but we get warnings.
They're very pretty. If they're the moth
they're
that
very,
I'm thinking
but they're
of.
very, but they're very destructive, and so you got to kill them.
Right, and that is, someone recently talking about spell jars, just a small sidewalk. Almost all of my creatures are taken humanely, but some of them are not. And someone was like, "Oh my God, why would it not be humanely?" And it's like, because of things like that. I have a few of them that I keep in a little tube because when I find them, I capture them and put them in a tube, and then they die. And then I use them for art. But they're beautiful. They've got some orange on them and they're kind of speckled.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you should kill it. Kill it. Also, Missouri's having the like metallic Asian beetles that are really beautiful. And in Egypt, they crush them down and use them as eyeliner. So, kill them.
So
Not cool.
my other prediction, and I know people that really don't like this stuff, and you're being way too vague, but there's going to be something else on Friday that is going to get picked to death. It's going to be somebody. It's either going to be a speech, it's going to be a statement, but there's going to be all kinds of talk about how they worded things or what their body language was like. I immediately think, one of the politician things here, either left or right, but
Harry did his jacket like that.
It's going to be, somebody is going to get to a incredibly anal degree overanalyzed on Friday.
Ooh,
that's my big theme. There will be, the theme. It will be over analysis for Friday, both in the micro and the macro. But in the big news, there's going to be something that's going to get analyzed to death about somebody's behavior, reading into their words and their body language and all that stuff.
I'm going to put that down. Body language to be overread. That's going to be
and bad economic stuff on Friday, I think.
And bad economic stuff. Well, then let's just put it into context for Saturday, because we wake up Saturday, man, some people are going to be hungover. Some people are going to be having a great day. It really depends on how Friday treated you. And then here you go, Saturday morning. It's the last quarter moon in Gemini. So that's the first thing that happens. And that kind of happens in the morning. We wake up and we go, oh, okay. The moon is just a sliver, the little last quarter. It's kind of just a last little chunk there, and it's still in Gemini. So we still have what for information? What do you
This is
feel?
rounding out the Virgo cycle, so this is all about analysis. And then when you got to the full moon part, it's that deep look inside as to, what are you going to change? What are you going to do? This is decision time. So this is, do you take the left path? Do you take the right path? You're at that crossroads. So it's decision Saturday.
Oh gosh.
Emotionally for this whole month of cycle. This is time to decide what path you're going on.
Which way? She chose down. She chose down. Should I have not chose down?
I don't know why I'm thinking of The Ring when at the very end when she's telling the little girl that is the girl still in the bad place? No, we let her out. We weren't supposed to let her out. So I kind of.
Pandora's box too, I think of comes to mind where it's like that Virgo, critique yourself and analyze, but not to the point that you're dead. And if you're going to do it to the point that you're dead, at least clean up after the dead body. Pandora's box, we would have had the answer had we kept it open just a little bit longer. And so I think of time, see what's become of me. A lot of, was that the Bengals? Yeah. I
Bengals,
think a lot of just repeat yourself, be sure that that's clear, be sure that these, decisions that you're making, that the information isn't overthought of and that you've, killed it. Really see what's left in the energy, and then take into account something's going to happen Saturday night. Ooh. Now last week when we predicted the Queen's issue, we talked about major death. It was upon this frequency that it was to happen. And here it is again on Saturday night, where the moon will be in Gemini, but it's trine Saturn in Aquarius.
Hmm.
That Saturn in Aquarius stuff, that's usually been some type of a rule or regulation in a major way, but this is on a Saturday night. What could it be? What's happening?
Well, it's interesting because you still have this whole moon emotional, which way am I going to go? Which way am I going to go? And so I have a feeling that the nudge here is, Saturn is rules, rings, restrictions, but Aquarius is think outside the box, kind of rebel. So I think this is kind of innovative thinking, but also kind of a rebellious energy. So I think people are going to make decisions to go kind of against the grain, against the rules. So I'm going to go ahead and make the biggest prediction so far of the week is that there's going to be a big protest, riot, or some kind of big like rebellion thing that's going to happen on Saturday night. That'll be the news story Saturday night.
What's the riot over?
I'm guessing, but there's the thing. This is what I gets. There's things that could develop between now and then that make it more. But my gut, if I had to go right now, I think it's going to be an energy and price thing, and I think it's going to be Europe. I'm getting this gut feel of those like Europe style riots, like the yellow vest riots and things, where they're like shutting down whole cities and like burning things. And
It's interesting because I kind of got, I get a non-American thing, but I don't get like an Asian thing, but I get like I don't know, like a European, but not.
It's Germany.
Ooh. Okay.
Somewhere in there, Western Europe, but not UK. I'm thinking France or Germany.
Okay. You guys write it down. What's in your mind? Share it in the chat room if you feel bold and brave. Do it. Be brave.
But to Katie's point, who just said, like, George, there could be a shooting or something that we're totally unaware of that will blow up, and that'll be it. But I'd have to say right now, again, that kind of thunderstorm thing, what's the most likely thing? I would say, because, these aren't like beamed into our heads of it's going to be like my gut would be something in Europe related to the prices and the energy prices and things like that.
Dang. Yep. And I'm kind of writing my stuff down. And then I just looked to Sunday. I'm not going to lie. I always look ahead because I've written down a little bit of my cheat. But it's just now occurring to me as I look at Sunday. 3 things happen on Sunday. And so Sundays, gosh, that's a holy day. It's a quiet day. Business is closed on Sunday. Listen to this and tell me how we feel about our predictions and intuitions when we take an even bigger step back on our Kerplunket game here. Sunday morning. Sunday. We are going to wake up and the sun is in Virgo. Okay, sun's in Virgo. Trine, there it is. Pluto in Capricorn. That Pluto, anytime I see Pluto, that's a life thing.
Pluto's big.
Pluto is a big thing.
Pluto doesn't give a crap.
No. What's going to happen?
All right.
Sun in Virgo.
So trine synergy we already covered Virgo about the pickiness. Capricorn is achievement oriented. So I mean, Pluto's in a sign forever. So I mean, we've been in this that thing for like 15 years. Um, but it's achievement, accomplishment. So this is seeing those details and having things in synergy to make big changes based on that. So, kind of what's getting analyzed, where those gaps are. I go back to that perfectionist energy on Friday of looking at where gaps are, where things are being seen, and that rebellious energy on Saturday. And I see big change, things aren't right. Things should be this way. We're going to make big moves and change it. So I see a whole lot of revolutionary like energy, like not revolutionary as like overthrowing a government, but I just see like big change energy building for this weekend. Like something big is going to change. Something on Monday is going to look very different than it did on Friday.
Just wait. Just wait until you see Sunday night. Sunday's
Okay.
not over. Two more things are happening. So when I think of Pluto and Capricorn, Capricorn, of course, is that, cardinal earth sign. So it's the top thinker. It's I see it as the old oak tree that you go to, and it's like the big willow that knows everything. Like this is the Akashic records, and this is Pluto kind of like shaking it. I see life swap. I see earthquake. I see eggshell magic, maybe even. Um, very simple, but yet very profound. And then it moves into the afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Man, and this is where, oh man, oh, okay. Sunday afternoon, Mercury in retrograde is in Libra, and that'll be opposite
These are all bad.
Jupiter in Aries.
I'm just gonna say these are all bad. These are all bad combos piling on to each other.
They
So
are. It's Jenga
this is
while drunk
diplomatic.
on a
This is
boat.
diplomatic communication. But since it's retrograde, it's diplomatic communication that is misinterpreted, having tension with opportunity to act and act in a very aggressive, impulsive, not thinking things through manner. So to me, on this one now, all of a sudden, I'm thinking of Ukraine now and like Russia doing something stupid because their backs are up against the wall, and do they do a tactical nuke or something? Because or miscommunicating some message. Somebody's going to miscommunicate some message from somebody else, and then go ahead and act on it and do something stupid. But these are all building. These are all building over the whole week. Like this is not looking good to me.
Libra, man, that's like weighing the heart and mind. That's, well, if I do this, then you do that. That's the push and pull. That's a tug of war. Libra, air, opposite Jupiter, the Chris Farley, give me more cocaine planet. Woo! Within retrograde, so no guidance whatsoever. In the sign of Aries, which is the bull on fire, I think of the last unicorn, pushing all of the unicorns into the sea. Fire, not thinking, fire. Aries, light it on fire with cocaine under no supervision, with a game of telephone that's trying to weigh life things with a piece of floss.
And Katie
With
says balance, but I think what's thrown in here is the fact that it's retrograde.
it's
So
retrograde.
I think it's with good intentions, but it's gonna get effed up.
Hmm.
Like I'm gonna talk,
Retrograde.
I'm gonna interject myself to try to smooth things over between two parties, and I'm gonna totally mess this thing up. I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone's ever said I love Tucker Dale versus Evil, and when the girl that's going into school for therapy tries to mediate the two like people, and they have tea, and it like the place gets burned down and people end up getting killed, and it's like that kind of thing.
I think of Orange County. There's a scene in Orange County with Jack Black, and Ben Stiller walks up as the fireman. It's like, what happened here? I don't know, man. I was just walking by and it was on fire. It's like, oh, well, she said that you guys were in the building when it started. Oh, yeah, no, we were, but she's a liar. It's like, where are your pants? Oh, I was running from the fire so fast that my pants, you know what? I'm just going to go over there. Like, it just lies on lies on, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It just is clear. When you said backs against the wall, because our backs against, what song is that? Because our back against the wall. I don't know if it's Pink.
No.
It's not a Pink Floyd, Back Against the Wall. I'll have to look at those lyrics, but there's something playing in my mind there. And that it's almost as if, yeah, watching Darth Vader and then suddenly you change the music to like Raffi. The soundtrack, the music is going to be different than what, you know, is played. You're thinking that you're coming out being badass and somebody's playing like beep 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 beep, like the hamster dance. It's just it's not gonna work. But then one more thing fucking happens on Sunday night. So we already know that we're kind of in an interesting little shit show here. Really interesting shit show. And then the moon finally wanes into a crescent space, it becoming smaller sliver even more in the constellation space of Cancer. Oh, shoot.
This is all just perfectly lining up because now I'm envisioning Friday, Saturday, and Sunday being such a colossal shit show that, you know, Cancer's all about security. I carry my home on my back, you know, home and security. Like, I feel this is like the world's all big and scary. I'm just going to go ahead and do the song quotes. I'll go Supertramp, Hide in Your Shell. Just go ahead and it's going to be security. Let's just, you know, it's like when you see those quote, you know, hug your kids on Thursday and hug your kids on Monday. Cause I'm feeling like, and I'm not saying these are the kind of things that are going to happen, but you know, September 10th versus September 12th, 2001. Or I'm thinking like I was a kid, but I remember like looking at the paper when like Iran took all the hostages and kind of what, like, it's like, I feel like it's something's going to break over the weekend that the whole world on Mondays, the whole world on Monday is going to look very different than it did on Friday. Whether that's Ukraine, whether that's an economic thing, whether that's something we can't even think of right now, whether it's aliens land on Saturday, like
the time travelers said that big worms come out. Call Kevin Bacon, man. Like Tremors. We're supposed to have like dinosaurs coming out of the big hole in China. We're supposed to have things coming out of the mist like Stephen King. Mad. The world's gone crazy.
Somebody could decide to light up an EMP and we could wake up on Monday and it'd be like the 1700s.
Oh, an ancient man. We'd be ancient, like before technology. This is real, and it could be. So just kind of be aware of where will you be? Will you be out on a ship somewhere? Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Talk about the worst places to be when the world ends. Insert best new TV show ever now. Can you imagine being out on a fucking cruise ship or something? Or like at a rodeo? Or at a zoo? I don't know. Anyway.
I think an airplane would really suck. Like if there's like an EMP or something. Or even like a... I know there's I'm going to do a Sunday Night Dead on the Carrington event eventually, but we're like overdue for another one of those events, and it's like a solar flare so bad that it like lit up the entire, like the sky was like daytime, and they had the aurora like all over the place, and like they could disconnect batteries on what is it called, telegraphs. They could send telegraphs without them being plugged in because the energy was so high. And they said if that would happen today with no warning, we'd be like back to like the 1500s for like at least 10 years.
God, that'd be crazy.
I would not want to be in a plane when one of those happened.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the plane because, well, and I don't know enough about like how planes operate. It makes me feel quite stupid and ignorant that they wouldn't be able to function. They would die, right? You'd just be dead in the air.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're not like a little two banger. You're going down.
You'd be in a big paperweight.
Oh my God, that'd be so scary.
Yeah, that's the worst. I would say that's the worst place.
Yeah, somebody'd probably stand, and it'd go dark. It'd be dark too. Ooh. Anyway, okay, talk about
a boat would suck too, because that's one of my fears is being bobbing out in the middle of the ocean. So
I can't imagine being on a cruise ship with people screaming and the food and people Anyway, that's wild. Okay, if I was a horror movie person, I'd be totally doing that. Um, who knows, you guys? Write your predictions for what we feel like is going to be kind of shifting. I feel like the more we're talking about it, my intuition's like, calm down. It's just going to be a horrible earthquake that opens up the oceans and horrible things come out of it. Just calm down. It's just a kraken. It's just the earth opening, swallowing you. It's no big deal. So I kind of feel like maybe that might be where it is. But let's take 2 steps out even more as we close up the show here in the final tail end. Monday. It'll be September 19th. Whatever shit show of the weekend will have happened. And only one thing happens on Monday. What is it? Well, on Monday, the moon is in Cancer, the last little bit of it before we get into like new moon spaces coming up. And it's going to be sextile Venus and Virgo. Look at how beautiful it is, all the dead bodies. I mean, what does this mean, Matt? The Cancer.
I view this, and not on its own, but in light of everything else we talked about, I view this as like, and I'm not saying the world's going to end. Don't get this wrong, but kind of like that, it's the end of the world, go hook up kind of thing. This is like, I feel insecure. Oh, I'm scared. And then you have this synergy with, I'm going to go ahead and do all these little analysis, and all of a sudden, oh, wow, they look like a good source of security. And so I view this as like linking up with somebody that makes you feel secure. Because you got that romantic energy, you got the analytical I's dotted, T's crossed, and you have this emotion of wanting to feel secure. So people are going to be drawn towards others that are going to make them feel safe based on what happens over this weekend. So these are all seeming to line up for something really bad happening this weekend, which I hope we're wrong.
Look at him like,
I'd rather be wrong and everybody say, Matt, you're an idiot, than be right and have it be a shit show this weekend. But that's kind of how it's lining up.
Well, and what's really fun being a counselor and working with people in like psychic spaces is seeing the themes of dreams, Neptune and Pisces, and kind of retrograde seasons where all of these planets are in retrograde, meaning like, look at the car behind us, get them to toot their horn. And you're like looking behind you while you drive. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay. Even though you guys are on the highway going the same direction, they're behind you. So we've passed them already. And so in this space, our ancestors aren't able to really look up and see the guidance that they provide to know where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. They don't know. So this sense of insecurity, uncertainty, the stellan, the peaceful uncertainty that you must have within your soul, it would make sense that on Monday, people can go, you know what's attractive to me? You know what's arousing? You know what's safe and sexy? An island that doesn't move, a rock that's not going anywhere, spam that doesn't go bad, that I don't have to cook. Like, you're going to gravitate, I truly believe, towards home. What is home? Home. What does that mean? Where are you going to be? What does that mean?
It's different for everybody. What makes you feel secure?
Is it in the heart or is it in the head? It's going to be kind of an interesting thing. Just kind of a check-in with self, and that'll be Monday. That Virgo, yeah, analytical check-in, and to check the boxes on it. Now, as we end the show, and don't forget, guys, you can tune in every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, for the show here, Astrology and Alchemy. But you can also check out and stream live on Odyssey Radio anytime. Anytime. Next Tuesday will be a whole week from now. 2 things happen. 2 things happen on Tuesday. Give us some insight, Matt. What does it all mean? First thing that happens, Venus and Virgo. Okay, 3rd time. But it's trine Uranus and Taurus.
So we already covered the Venus and Virgo. Trine is synergy, and then Uranus and Taurus is Uranus is kind of rebellion, but Taurus is stable and indulgent. So I always view this as it's rebelling by not doing what you're supposed to do, to just kind of staying put. And so I'm gonna still go on the whole lines that people are gonna be unsettled and stuff. So this is gonna be a lot of. I'm gonna go more business than romantic, but it could hit both ways. People are gonna be staying home on Tuesday. This is Mental Health Day. That whole security thing from
Where?
Monday night into Tuesday, like yeah, I don't know. I'm just getting bad vibes that this is going to be something that's going to really leave people rattled.
Well, let it enter Tuesday evening. Taco Tuesday evening, we've overthought it. We're overthinking it. We're looking at the details. We're kind of unsettled. We're still unsure. We're not sure. We're trying to be safe, but I don't know. The world is just rebellious and deviant, and the feeling within us, the tidal wave within everyone, at least in the northern hemisphere here, that moon is going to enter Leo. Mm, the energy of Leo. I think be strong. I think a strong voice. I think of a lion's roar. But what do you think when you think of the moon in Leo?
This is gonna be for a couple days, but I think this is an opportunity then coming out of whatever's going to happen this week. Of some people are going to try to come to the forefront and be like the leaders to take charge over what all is happening. So you'll have people kind of moving forward, wanting spotlight on them, wanting, hey, I can handle this, follow me, kind of thing. So maybe this is kind of like a leadership push, but it's leadership for attention. It's not Leo's not the greatest sign for Leo. It's they want to be the leader, but they're not necessarily the most capable leader because they're a little self-centered.
Well, and it makes me think when you said the word settle, it really gives me that neurolinguistic moment of, man, you think settle, you think, okay, this is where I'm gonna plop down, stop moving. But yes, physics, the actual to stop moving. It's when that milkshake, you're blending your stuff. It's when all the little pieces stop moving down the glass that you think, okay, it's blended enough. It has settled. You see where the chips are going to fall, and it gives you the ability to predict movements for the future. So this is going to be maybe that Tuesday evening, the first time we begin to see people stepping forward out of the chaos ever so lightly.
People are going to start emerging as wanting to be the leaders from this.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean on that, it's not that they're bad, but my thing on Leo is they are very influenced by the opinions of others, and so that's the weakness on a Leo. They want the attention, but they want positive attention, and when you're taking those kind of positions, you're going to get criticized as well as positive things, and that they don't necessarily take well to being criticized.
It's again, I think of that play on words with the lion and the pride. The pride is going to show. So the group of people and the movement within the sociology, nations, movements, just how the pieces begin to fall this weekend, I think is going to be slowly. By next Tuesday evening, we're going to see some voices emerge, and that'll be enlightening, hopefully helpful, giving us some insight. We'll be here on the show again on a Tuesday, joining you guys, giving you some insight, and following up hopefully with how September's going to end. Wake me up when September ends. We're going to be waking up. Green Day. Was that Green Day?
Green Day.
COVID, you've not taken me yet. Knock, knock. Okay, so we've still got 5 more minutes, guys, before we close down the show. I'm going to put in the chat where you can find us, because Matt and I are working on some, I think it's for September. I think maybe just this retrograde season, there's been such a demand for a live reading that's similar to our show, being able to provide something that, if you guys want to get a reading that is Matt and I together like this in a video, breaking stuff down, taking questions, and and joining you. Yeah, or tarot cards, whatever you would like in that way. That's something that we want to open up and offer for you guys. How long we'll do it, I don't know. It probably just depends on Matt and I's schedule. But that I think would be fun. And I know that that's something that Matt and I are going to try and make time to do for you guys. So if you would like a reading or a reading special or a gift certificate or just kind of going into the Halloween season or being in retrograde, if you're just like, holy cow, life is crazy and I would love some insight and to know when my special moon days are and all that stuff, please feel free to invest in you and invest in us. We don't mind letting you know. We love doing that. It sharpens our abilities, hopefully helps you make some good decisions. And I would love to know your guys' personal predictions and work with you in that space. That's always fun to do. Pebbles in the chat room. Putin.
And G, your meeting.
Oh, it's an ampersand. I thought that was a different language. That's a really cool font. And G are meeting for the first time in a long time to discuss the Ukraine and energy and computer chips and all sorts of crazy things.
Oh,
That's why when you said that your phone was going crazy, I thought, oh God, it's happening. It's happening.
I do want to add though, real quick, because shameless plug, but Sunday
Shameless
Night Dead,
plug.
because I was away, is actually tomorrow night. So I'm doing Sunday Night Dead on Thursday. So there's a
Ooh.
lake in Cameroon that had all these legends of demons and things in it, and then an event happened that killed over 1,000 people, and we will be talking about that.
What?
People thought it was a neutron bomb. People thought it was a terrorist attack. There's a scientific explanation, but
Was it?
thousands died, and it's a creepy story. I won't give it away what it is if you don't know it.
I think my intuition says it was swamp moss. Swamp moss. It's not swamp moss.
It's an interesting story.
Swamp. Yeah, I want to hear. Gosh dang. So, okay, so that's tomorrow
Tomorrow night.
for the Sunday Night Dead, usually on Sundays, but going to be on a Thursday. So do catch it if you can't usually or want to try tomorrow. That sounds awesome. And then these shows, guys, you can always catch them on our YouTube, the Paranormal Channel, Astrology, and Alchemy. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. And then you can get a hold of Matt privately at mslosier at Yahoo and myself at paranormalsarah.com. Guys, we're here wherever you're listening to us right now. Go to the envelope, DM us private messages, get a reading. Sharing is caring. And I want to know those predictions. What do you think as we close up the show here? What do you think is the final prediction? What do you feel for the week? What advice do we give?
Don't overreact. Remember, we've gone through other things, and our ancestors have gone through other things, and we're all still here. And so, just try to take things in balance. Don't get too overly influenced by the news that makes a whole lot of, they get a whole lot of mileage out of amping things up and getting people worked up. And so, stay calm. We will
Don't panic.
navigate. We will navigate whatever BS happens over this weekend. But I have a feeling there's going to be something big that happens this weekend.
I feel there is something brewing. Something brewing, and I feel it's going to maybe be in reference to like cryptocurrency and registries of our information. It might be Fusion Center related. We don't know. But I agree, Matt. That's good advice. We all have little tardigrades on us. Our ancestors before us have done it. You guys, we're going to be fine. And hopefully, and you are, because if you're listening to this, you're aware and you're prepared and you're looking at all the stars and the signs and the things that even if we do have some earthquake or EMP or something, stars are going to be there. And you'll be able to figure out where you're at. So,
I'm thinking either like Ukraine, like tactical nuke or something like that, or some natural disaster.
earthquake.
But like on the order of like the tsunami in Indonesia, like 15 years ago, like something
Bigger
like
than
that.
Pakistan
It's,
being
it's, gonna, it's gonna be
underwater.
something big.
Big. Okay, guys, share with us. Let us know. Join us on social media. Sign up for free. Sign up for your subscriptions notifications so you don't miss us. And don't forget, check out that reading special. How much are we doing it for, Matt? Do you remember? Man, it's like
100
nothing. Oh my God, it's only 100. Okay. It's only $100.
for
And
an
the first
hour.
one
It's like your
child
own private show.
for a whole hour. What? Okay. We'll do it for as long as we can, guys. So sign up. Let us know if you're interested. And until next time, we'll see you next week.
All right. Have a good one. Oh, I got to get to our. I'm sorry. All right. See you guys. Have a great one.